So guys, I'm excited to bring you today's video because it will be a special one. I reached out to PUBG Replay and I got their approval, so next to my own recorded gameplay I will show you a different angle as well, which will help us to understand not just my strategy but also other players as well. So we will run through the whole round from start to finish and we'll try to understand all players' strategies and positioning, and hopefully this will help you to understand the game mechanics a little bit more and help you to have more chicken dinners in the future. For those of you who don't know what PUBG Replay is, this tool collects all the data about all PUBG players. The data uploads after you finished your round, so you won't be able to use it to cheat, only to learn from your mistakes and improve after you finish the round. So now that you know everything, let's start. So like most of the other players, I like to land on these concrete buildings. If you check the PUBG Replay, you can see that one more player landed across the road and he started to make his way to the hangar. As you can see it on the info tab, I had a SCAR-L and a shotgun, but this guy only had a revolver. So the first encounter was pretty much already decided, but of course I didn't know this at that time. As you can see, my next looting destination was already occupied. There were two players in close proximity to each other and another one was arriving with the vehicle. But as you can see, the guy in the vehicle just passed by, he didn't stop. So it was me and two other players. If we check the other angle, you can see that the other two players were already fighting. If you take a look at the kill feed, you can see that one of them killed the other, so it was just me and the other guy. And I had the general idea about his location based on the direction of the shots. So since I made minimal noise, I got these tutors, wasn't aware that I'm approaching him, and I managed to catch him mid-looting, so it was an easy kill. Jumping ahead in time a little bit again, as I approach my next looting compound, you can see on the other footage that one player was already there, but from the other side. And I saw him crossing the road, but since I had no long range scope, I decided to try to kill him from a different angle. I saw him entering the building, but he never came out, so after a few minutes of waiting behind cover, I decided to approach this guy and try to take him out with a nade. Getting the overview from PUBG Replays, you see that one guy probably heard the grenade going off, so he approached me while I was looting, but fortunately for me, the care package just arrived, so he decided to go for the loot instead of killing me. So after I finished looting the compound, I decided to climb the hill to have a better angle of the area. I noticed the guy running on the opposite hill. I decided to take him out, but since I had only the 2 times, after running through half of the magazine, I managed to tag him only once, so he was able to take cover in one of these buildings. But I know that he was already hurt and I didn't want to give him time to heal up, so I decided to just chuck a nade and see if I can kill him with that. Alright, so jumping a little bit again. As I was running towards the care package, I heard gunfight in front of me. The only thing I needed was a better scope, so I decided to change my direction and instead of going to the care package, try to sneak up to the guys fighting at the compound. I had hard time to spot him because he was in the shades, but his movement gave his position away, so I caught this guy again mid-looting. As you can see, as the blue started to push players, few of them managed to grab a vehicle, but the rest had to run for it. And if I speed up the time, you can see exactly how the migrating players made their way to the new zone. If you saw my previous gameplays, you already know that one of my favorite tactics is to wait by the edge of the zone and just wait for other players to enter to take them out. This was the case with him as well. I just waited him to stop and I finished him with only one headshot since he already took damage from the blue zone. If we check the other angle again, we see that again only half of the player base was inside the new safe zone, with the other half outside of it. Okay, so as the blue was already pushing us, I tried to balance my positioning between the highest ground possible and the edge of the circle. So as I was making my way to the new zone, I got hit by this other player, but fortunately enough I could take cover behind this rock. And as I was peeking over it, I managed to tag him multiple times, and I still don't know the reason behind that, but he decided to lay prone without any proper cover, so I had an easy time to finish him. But the two other players on the opposite hill heard us fighting, so they decided to try to take me out. And of course, as they were shooting at me, they also learned that they are close to each other. So lucky for me, I could heal up while they started to shoot each other. And as I zoomed into my scope, I saw this guy getting a headshot, so I knew that I could finish him with only just a few more shots. But clearing the area wasn't easy, since both of them knew about my exact location. I had to make sure that I killed the other guy as well. So I tried to push up to this guy and take him out in close range. UMP is really powerful, so I had really no problem winning the CQC gunfight. So after I boosted myself to maximum, I tried to spot other players on the hill opposite to me, but I couldn't see anyone, so I figured there might be some players on the same hill I was on. So I started to sweep it, and this guy was covered by the bush, so I couldn't see him at first, but thanks to the power of the UMP, I managed to lock him in my crosshair and finish him off. If you take a look at the PUBG replays again, you can see that only one player from the remaining 3 was inside the new safe zone, and he was carefully taking his time to loot the care package. I mean, you should never loot the care package when it's just 20 players left, let alone if it's just 3. So I used his mistake and I tried to take him out, but unfortunately I couldn't finish him off. So he managed to take cover behind one building. As I positioned myself to the edge of the new safe zone, I saw the other player on the opposite side of the compound. So I tried to take him out first with my M16, and when he took cover, I tried to throw some nades to him, hoping that it will kill him. But unfortunately I wasn't successful, and the other player heard us fighting, so he flanked this guy and he killed him before I did. So it was just the final 2. I'm pretty much sure I never saw this guy leaving this brick building, but the next time I spotted him, he was by defense. He was looking for me, but he didn't know that I was on the top of the hill. So I tried to take him out, but unfortunately my shots didn't register. So I tried to throw some nades again, but it didn't help, and I had to move to the new zone. So I tried to cover my movement by throwing another nade. And as I was falling down from the hill, I took significant damage. But at that moment I didn't have enough time to heal up, so I tried to push this guy again. I shot him multiple times, but I took some damage as well, so I tried to heal up real fast. And again, with the powerful UMP, I managed to win the gunfight. And as I mentioned before in my top 10 pro tips video, it's important to lean when you're shooting, because you will confuse your enemy, so that's why I managed to win the fight. So guys, this was my full round with 11 kills. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, please don't forget to leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Subscribe for more PUBG content like this if you're new here, and check out PUBG Replay. The link is in the description. Bye.